Whether you're planning big future expenses, looking to generate reliable income, or just want to diversify your investments, a Gilt Ladder is a powerful tool. Think of it like a DIY annuity but with a twist, more control and more flexibility. In this video, I'll show you how to build a bond ladder from scratch, how to manage it over time, and also how to optimize it for cost and tax. But most importantly, I'll explain why flexibility is the true superpower of a bond ladder and how you can use that to your advantage. If you do enjoy this video, please like it, and why not subscribe to our channel. So why would you consider buying gilts in the first place? Well, broadly, they'd fit into your portfolio in the safe category. So this would be along with investments like cash, but also money market funds. These are investments which are going to have low return, but also come with a low risk. Now, this is assuming that you hold your gilts to maturity. If you do that, then you don't really have to worry about yield curve movements because you're guaranteed to get the £100 at the maturity of the bond's life. You lock in the yield on the day that you buy the bond, and you know precisely what cash flows you'll receive and when you'll receive them. Compare that with a risky investment like equity. You don't really know what the dividends will be in the future. You know that it's going to be very volatile, and you don't have any idea about what its value will be in the future. So the trade-off here is safety in return for fixed upside. And of course, it's not all or none. Usually you'd hold safe investments alongside your risky ones. And that way you can dial your risk up and down. Now that's all very general and theoretical. Here's what an actual bond's cash flows look like. The name of this bond, if you like, is T35, that's its ticker, or alternatively, it's called the 4.5% of 35. So its fixed coupon, that's the fixed interest rate which it pays you for its entire lifetime until it matures, that's 4.5%. And that'll be 4.5% of the face amount, as it's called. The face amount is the amount you'll receive at maturity when the bond matures. So roughly speaking, you pay about 100 today to buy the bond, it's worth 100 at maturity, and then you get some interest payments on the way. In the UK, gilts pay interest every 6 months, so you get half of that 4.5% every 6 months. So let's say you buy £100 face of this bond, T35. Well, these are the coupons that you're going to receive. Those will be £2.25 paid every 6 months. The final coupon will be paid on the maturity date. That's why it's 102.25 rather than just 100. And the amount you pay for that bond today is called the dirty price, and that's £100.50. So that's it. You go to your broker, you decide to buy the bond, you type T35 into your browser, and then you just click on buy. That's not a recommendation, by the way. So by paying just over £100 today, you get these future cash flows. Now, when you're comparing bonds, different bonds have different coupons. So in order to compare them on an even keel, the way you do that is to compare something called yield to maturity. Now, roughly speaking, that's how much return you'll get when you invest in the bond. So if you invest £100 at a yield of 5%, in a year's time you'll have about £105. And just like a stock or a stock fund, you've got two components to your return. One of them is your income, that's the coupon in this case. The other source of return is capital gain. You buy at a certain price, it matures at a certain price, which in the case of a bond is always 100, and that's your capital gain. Add the two together and you get yield to maturity. So for this bond, we saw the coupon, the income, was 4.5%. There is a small capital gain in this case, and that adds an additional 0.1%. And so the overall yield to maturity is 4.6%. So if you buy this bond today, you know that over the next decade, roughly every year you'll earn about 4.6%. Of course, the big payment comes at the end of the life of the bond. That's the big cash flow you can see in 2035. And in this case, it'll happen on March the 7th. Now let's think about gilt ladders. Well, a gilt ladder is just a portfolio of gilts, and it's called a ladder because if you plot the cash flows, they look roughly like the rungs of a ladder, which are evenly spaced, or sometimes not so evenly. So let's say you've got a 1-year gilt, and you buy that, and then you also buy a 2-year gilt and a 3-year gilt, put the cash flows together, and there's a 3-rung bond ladder. You pay a certain amount today to set up the bond ladder, and then the cash flows start streaming in. Now in the UK, we don't usually have a huge number of government bonds to choose from. Here you can see, as I make this video, there are 66 bonds to choose from. And what I've plotted here are their maturity, their years to maturity on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, their maturity date. I chose a log plot on the x-axis because it just made the graph easier to read. But you can see that the tickers for the bonds incorporate the maturity date of the bond. So TG57, for example, matures in 2057. So let's make a really simple bond ladder with 3 bonds from this menu of bonds. And those 3 bonds are going to be T26, that matures next year, T27A and TN28. Now before we go on, there's another small point to make, which is the amount of the bond that you buy. The face value is how we determine how much bond you've bought. If you buy £100 worth of face, that's the redemption, the face value payment that you'll get at maturity, plus the final coupon, of course. But it's very likely you won't buy exactly £100 worth of a bond. You'll buy much more in most cases. So let's say that you buy £10,000 worth face of our first gilt, which is T26. Now the coupons that you receive are a percentage of that face value. So if the coupon is 1/8%, and those are received every 6 months, then on a £10,000 face value, your coupons will be £6.25. You're just about to receive one of those, and then you'll get the final £6.25 on the maturity date of this bond. The amount you'd pay for that today would be £9,841. So very crudely, if we wanted a £10,000 income every year for the next 3 years, we just buy £10,000 face of those 3 bonds. It's actually a bit more complicated than that, as we'll see. So we buy £10,000 face of T26, T27A and TN28. And you can see the cash flows for those 3 beside me here. Add them up, and that's the cash flows for your bond ladder. Notice that the middle bond here has a very chunky coupon. It's 4 1/8%, which is much more than the other 2. That means that the coupons on that bond are going to be over £200. But if we ignore the coupons, you can see those big redemption cash flows. 10,000 in 2026, 10,000 in 2027, and 10,000 in 2028. So that's it. That's our bond ladder. It's actually very easy to build one. But what if you wanted the income year by year to be exactly £10,000? Well, then it's slightly more complicated because in the first year, you're going to receive the coupons of all of the bonds in the portfolio. After a year passes, you'll only receive the coupons from the remaining bonds. And then when you get to the final bond in the bond ladder, the coupons will be purely generated by that bond. So if you are going to build a bond ladder and you want a precise income year by year, you have to take into account those coupons. You can't ignore them. If we do that and use a proper bond calculator, then this is what the cash flows might look like. You can see that for the first year, we've got 3 bonds. Those are the big cash flows that you can see. Then in 2027 and 2028, again, we have multiple bonds. And the tiny little cash flows you can see here are the coupon payments. If you add up those principal repayments and coupons year by year, they add up to almost exactly £10,000 a year. Now for our premium website members in PensionCraft, we've created a bond ladder tool. So let me show you how it works and how easy it is to use. This is our gilt yield curve if you wanted to track what yield you'd get for any of the UK outstanding bonds. And this is the tool we've just added, which is going to allow us to build our gilt ladder. So we tell it the income we'd like to receive, £10,000, when we'd like that income to start, how many years of income, so let's say 3. We'll assume the tax rate is 0 initially, also the growth rate is 0 in our income, and we'll set the cost priority to 0 too. Then we click on calculate, and here are the results. So you can see the individual bonds which we bought here. They appear in a table. I notice the face amount is the most important column here because it's telling you how much you have to buy of each bond. You can also see the cost of that bond, which is not exactly the same as the face amount, and the coupon and maturity date of each bond. So in 2026, you can see that's our first year of cash flows. We've got T25 maturing, TY25 maturing, and T26. So those are the first 3 bonds in the table. Notice also we've got lots of coupons initially because these come from all of the bonds, and then the coupons fizzle out as more of the bonds mature. Now we've added up the incomes year by year, and it turns out that they're very close to £10,000 a year. So those are the principal payments and the individual coupons. Now you can download the bond ladder and the cash flows generated by the ladder into a CSV file, which you can then import into a spreadsheet. Now I've done that for the bond ladder you just saw. So here are the cash flows. The columns here are the individual bonds in the bond ladder, and the rows are the dates of each cash flow, coupons and principal repayments. Now of course the principal repayments are the big cash flows. They make up the brunt of the income, but the coupons are important too. And if we add it up year by year, you can see that the income is indeed very close to £10,000. So that's your basic bond ladder building, but there are certain things you can tweak. Now take our 3-year bond ladder. What I've shown you here are the clean prices of all of the gilts which could feed into that ladder. Notice how there's a huge variation in the price that you'd pay for those gilts. So it might make sense to minimize the amount we have to pay for that gilt ladder by buying the cheaper gilts. So for our optimizer, we've added an additional parameter. Not only does it try to match the income you want precisely, there's another parameter that lets you minimize the cost of the ladder. So that way you get a fixed income, but by relaxing the constraints on annual income, sometimes it'll be a bit below 10,000, sometimes a bit above. By relaxing that constraint, you can minimize the cost of the ladder. Another consequence of that tweaking is that the bond ladder is greatly simplified. In fact, here we're only using 3 bonds. It depends on how aggressive you make the cost saving. But instead of paying £28,447, we'd only have to pay £28,163 in this example. Not a huge saving, but personally I'd rather pay less for that fixed £30,000 income. And if the aggregated annual cash flows are slightly different from 10,000, it wouldn't bother me too much. Now another consideration with gilts is tax, and if you hold them outside an ISA or a SIP, then you do have to pay tax, but only on the income component of the gilt. You don't pay capital gains tax on gilts. So by choosing low coupon gilts, you can minimize the amount of tax you pay, and that can make a gilt ladder very tax efficient. So another parameter for our gilt ladder tool allows you to enter your marginal rate of tax, basic rate, higher rate or additional rate, and that inputs the net coupons rather than the gross coupons into the optimizer. Now some people do hold gilt ladders outside their ISA or SIP, so this could be a useful way of optimizing it in that kind of scenario. Now once you've built your gilt ladder, you do have to do a bit of maintenance. So let's say we build our gilt ladder in 2025 and a year passes. Well, now our gilt ladder's lost a rung, and that's because one of the bonds matured. So we got a big cash payment, and you can do anything you want with that. If you want to maintain the ladder, you might reinvest the principal into a new 3-year bond. Or if you're using it for income, maybe you just spend it. But that's why bond ladders are so flexible. You can really do whatever you want with the cash which it generates. And that brings us on to the superpower of gilt ladders, which is their flexibility. Now, one of the reasons why they're so flexible is that you don't have to hold those gilts to maturity. Compare that with an annuity or a deposit at a bank. There you could be penalized if you withdraw your cash early. With a gilt, you can sell it any time you like. And the gilt market's very liquid. It's very cheap to buy and sell gilts. Now there are certain benefits and drawbacks to holding your gilts to maturity versus cashing them in early. The first point here is about return and yield. Remember, the yield to maturity assumes you hold the bond to maturity, and that's how you know what return you're going to get, roughly. You're never completely sure because there's reinvestment risk for the coupons. So if you do hold to maturity, you've got that certainty knowing you're going to get your money back on a certain date. Sell the bond before maturity and you don't know what price you'll sell it at. So certainty is what you're sacrificing for your maturity payment when you sell before maturity. But what if yields fall for the entire gilt yield curve? Well, that means the price of your bond could shoot up. What could cause that? Well, fear is often the reason why gilts rally. When people are scared, they buy certainty and they buy gilts. So it pays to be a bit flexible and consider selling your gilt if opportunities arise. Another reason you might sell your gilts would be a stock market crash. You could sell some gilts to buy your newly cheap equity portfolio. So I think it's always good to be a little bit flexible when it comes to managing your gilt bond ladder, and that way you can make use of these opportunities and make the best use of the flexibility of this investment tool. So hopefully you can see how useful a gilt ladder can be as part of your portfolio, both to diversify your equity investments, but also to offer you this flexible cash flow planning tool. Once you set one up, you're not locked into it and you can sell the gilts at any time. Now, if you did want to get access to that Gilt Ladder building tool and all of the other tools that we offer and our chat application so you can discuss buying gilts, people often feel a bit unsure, and we offer help, then it's really easy to join our membership. Just go to pensioncraft.com/membership to learn more. And of course, you'll find a link to that in the description below. And as always, thank you for listening.